Hagerstown, Maryland. Harvest season, the corn is high, and everything is feels new. So today I'm gonna do some stand-up comedy here, a little bar in Hagerstown, Maryland, rework my stand-up comedy, rewrite how I'm doing everything. That includes visiting old sort of premises that have been buried for years, or just, ideas that I wrote down that I completely forgot I wrote down. Realizing that I've up here and kind of reflected on, my time here, what I'm working through. A lot of this has been a mental health journey. My self-worth, across the board, working through trauma therapy, working through a lot of deep stuff, reparenting. I've been sharing on this vlog that I'm rewriting absolutely everything, and it's for a big purpose. It's for a big reason. I think that we go through life, we don't revisit our trauma. It took a big traumatic situation for me to work through the trauma of the stuff that bubbles up when you have any type of trauma is really like the long-term work. So this is why I'm growing, and this is why I do stand-up comedy. And I don't know if my journey, like if you watch it, like the ups and downs and the fact that I have traveled a lot, it's not, some people have an A to B kind of life. I trust my intuition when it comes to traveling, when it comes to having to stay and having to leave and having to find myself on this sort of circuitous path. As I kind of realize why I've been doing this, why I've been in Maryland, why I've been isolating myself for this long and really digging in and doing workshops, and all of them are mental health, women's empowerment, therapy related workshops, that I have to apply this to pursuing stand-up comedy more fiercely, because before, like, I kept writing. One of the things I realize is how much, and I wonder, and I do pose this question to a lot of women out there, and it's not just isolated to women, but I really do mean this, especially for female comics or anybody in a world where people do not want to hear you talk, but you make them hear you talk. And I just wonder how many women out there have written themselves off so many times, written yourself off, been discarded, been cast away, been treated like that, and then your brain downloads it and then treats yourself like that, casts yourself away. So I'll go into Benny's and we'll see what happens.
She's performed all over the United States. She's your headliner for the evening. Woo! I always love running into her. Please clap loud for Kristy Belich. Very nice, Kristy Belich.
To rearrange the room. I don't think I'm the headliner of the night. I think that I'm the last comic to go. I've been contemplating as to why, and I listened to your sets tonight, gentlemen, after this Proud Boys committee hearing. It's not my first one that I've had to sit through, nor will it be my last, as long as I decide to continue doing stand-up comedy. But for most of the comics here, you can't decide that shit. This shit just finds your ass, brings you around the whole wide world, and then says, do you want more of taking this dick in your asshole? And you say, sure. Does it include a drink ticket? Oh boy, I'm gonna go to Benny's Pub in Hagerstown. Who's spiritual here? Clap it up if you're spiritual. So I'm doing this thing. It's called The Artist's Way. It's a book by Julia Cameron, and it's like reigniting your mojo with being a artiste, right? And I consider being a comic whose pussy's out most of the time because I've given up on denim. I've completely There's too many young people here. I've given up on denim. It folds, it goes into pieces of your body, and I'm done. I'm cutting the mic on denim for the rest of my life. So my pussy's generally out, just airing out. And I don't know if that's considered an artiste. But in the artiste's way, I'm on a chapter that focuses on anger. That's the chapter I'm on. And in the chapter, she says, look for the synchronicities. And that was a long-winded way to say that tonight is my synchronicity. You guys are my fucking synchronicity, because I have to remind myself as to why I do this for drink tickets. I have this little vlog series that I was doing, because you have to understand the addiction that stand-up comedy is. Like, stand-up comedy is such an addiction that I left a job at an Ivy League school in New York City in order to fucking wear somebody's talking about Tractor. This shirt is from Tractor Supply. And I'll tell you how I got this shirt. It says, buckle up, buttercup. If you don't see, I have tits, I understand, but, and I'm the first person with tits on stage tonight, and you can't say the first woman with tits anymore. You have to say I'm the first cis, flappy jack, pancake, fucking cunt. But this shirt that says buckle up buttercup is from the Tractor Supply in some random town in, like, outside of Tallahassee, Florida. Not even Tallahassee, Florida. Because I sweat through all my shirts going from Texas to Tallahassee to go to a gig, and it was 10 hours, and I was like, I can make the gig tonight. I just have to get a shirt when I get there. And this is the shirt I wore. And when I got to the gig, it was somebody's backyard. And it was a fucking wooden garage that the neighbors took out fold-out chairs. And I know that this is nothing new to Hagerstown, Maryland. Hagerstown, you know what, if we look back at history, Hagerstown, there's the Revolutionary War, there's the fucking Civil War, and there's fucking folding chairs, and they were created here. I don't have fucking proof, I just know that they were probably created here, because I had a moment of synchronicity tonight that reminded me of why the fuck I do this shit. I was going down Route 70, I took the exit 32 to Route 40, and as I turned the corner, my random playlist just started playing Free Bird out of nowhere. And I knew that that was the comedy gods letting me know that I am as free as a bird. And this bird on stage will never fucking give up. I'm a dumb bitch sweating through my shirt right now. When he was like, oh, you're going at the end, I was just like, fuck, I need to put air in my tires. And then every comment coming up was talking about their tires, and I was thinking, like, I'm thinking about the hellish amount. It's a little child talking to me earlier. He's like, oh, you did comedy for 10 years? And I'm like, bitch, the war stories of just being, I didn't even make cruise ship comic. That's the thing. And they say, like, oh, are you a has-been? I'm a never was with a lot of debt. Like, that's fucked up. Like, I've been watching this shit about near-death experiences, and I had a near-death experience when I was on the road during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic. I lost my housing. I was living in the rural desert of Joshua Tree, which is now getting sprinkles of rain, and they're calling that shit a hurricane. What I should have done is sold pictures of my feet online. That's what I fucking should have done. And when you said you were selling pictures of your feet online, I was just, did anybody imagine the kind of feet you have? You're a fucking veteran. Like, are people jacking off to your veteran feet? Like, fuck, I've done the wrong business this whole goddamn time. Because my NDE experience was during the pandemic. And I was living in between Austin, Texas and Oklahoma City because, full disclosure, fucking Gavin Newsom is a fucking dictator drinking wine. How much, do you guys know the story that during the pandemic he was drinking wine and every like Californian was like stuck Netflixing and chilling, except it wasn't Netflix and chill during the pandemic. It was like people homeless at rest stops. Like that's what was going down. And if only we knew, well the smart people knew, but I thought my feet were too stank to sell pictures. So I was driving from Oklahoma City to a place called Morgan, Utah, and it was a 16-hour drive to get to a gig. And I was doing this gig at a place called the Stoddard Inn, and just to set up the picture, the next door neighbors to this bar were 2 horses. Like this is true. There was a mountain and 2 horses and this bar, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I was getting paid in a hotel room in chicken fingers and then tips from the bar. And I got paid in $68. So somebody was asking me earlier, what does that mean? Is that I got paid, that's how much this shit is a fucking drug. I'm like, this shit is more important than heroin. What I'm saying is kick heroin and do this for the rest of your life, and then you'll never make money again. I'm also saying, if you're not selling pictures of your feet, at least understand that there is a dirty motherfucker who will buy something, right? I think the first time I came back to doing comedy after taking a month off, I came here. I've been showing up here to redirect my confidence, but I legit was thinking about, I was picking my nose, and I had these scratchy ass boogers, and I had one of those cone boogers, and when I took it out, it was like the perfect shape, like stalagmites. It looked like it was from like some Virginia cave dwellers episode. It just the perfect, like you're from Brooklyn, the perfect boogers, just hard, ready to just create paleontology, all this shit. And all I could think to myself was, I just wasted some perfect money. I just could have paid my mortgage off somebody that looks like Cory Bush. Just in a basement somewhere in, Charlestown, just wanting to touch a woman. And I could have sent him some perfect artifacts. I don't even know. Look, this is called improvisation. I know you guys are exhausted and bored, but I'm just really grateful to be here tonight, and have a good one.
Kristy Belich, everybody.
Look, this is who I am. This is how I am. But my perspective in life is one of those things that makes me unique and makes me authentic, and my heart is big. So I know that what I want to do is go back to Los Angeles. I have a date in mind. And the way I'm going to lean into this is be like, bitch, like, I'm literally going into this on fucking faith, knowing full well the weather is some fuck shit, knowing full well that this is often a war zone, knowing full well that I have gone in and out for years of this place, that I've clearly self-sabotaged myself because I clearly did not at the time feel like I deserved this. When even people were like, you were so funny, I would get in arguments proving them wrong. It's like, or you could just accept the compliment and accept the fact that you're doing what you love to do, and also know that this takes fucking time, and also know that this is not for the faint of heart. So I love realizations like this. For me, obviously, this is my mental wellness journey. For chronic self-sabotagers out there, understand, like, everybody does it in a very different way. For me, it's like moving, traveling. I feel more comfortable on the road. I don't know why. I don't know where I got that. I know the astrology of it, but honestly, like, my home, I feel more at home in a parking lot in the middle of nowhere than I do in, somebody's like nice fancy house. Like, I just am that kind of person. So I'm going to try and see how the next few weeks goes, because I've created kind of a plan for myself and to really lean into my self-worth. And that is the ultimate goal, is like, it was never about whether or not I'm good enough to do this. It's like whether or not I recognize I'm good enough to do this. And that's part of this journey.